Imagine a place where an ancient village sits between towering mountains, where traditional wooden houses cling to steep cliffs, and where a powerful waterfall crashes down directly beside the town. It sounds like something from a fantasy movie, but this extraordinary place is real. Welcome to Furong Ancient Town, one of the most fascinating and beautiful ancient towns in China. Located in western Hunan province, Furong Ancient Town is famous for its dramatic natural scenery, traditional architecture, rich history, and most importantly, its spectacular waterfall. The waterfall drops from a high cliff and flows through the landscape beside the ancient town, creating a scene that is difficult to believe until you see it with your own eyes. Today, Furong is one of the most remarkable destinations in the region, attracting travelers who want to experience a combination of Chinese history, traditional culture, mountains, rivers, and one of the most unusual waterfalls in the country. But behind the beautiful scenery is a story that goes back more than 2,000 years. To understand Furong, we first need to travel back into the distant past. Long before modern roads, hotels, restaurants, and tourists existed, this mountainous region of western Hunan was home to local communities that depended heavily on the surrounding natural environment. The mountains were difficult to cross, but they also provided protection and natural resources. The rivers and streams provided water and created routes through the valleys. People learned how to live with the difficult landscape rather than trying to completely change it. Over many generations, a settlement developed here. The town was historically known as Wangsuan, and its history is closely connected with the Tujia people and the wider culture of western Hunan. The Tujia are one of China's recognized ethnic groups, with a long cultural history in the mountainous regions of Hunan and neighboring areas. Their traditions include disti, distinctive architecture, music, dance, clothing, festivals, food, and customs. Furong became an important settlement within this cultural landscape. Its location near rivers and mountain routes allowed people to communicate and trade with surrounding communities. Goods could be moved through the valleys, and the town gradually developed into an important local center. For centuries, generations of people lived here, worked here, traded here, and raised their families here. The landscape around them was always part of their daily lives. The mountains were not simply scenery. The river was not simply a beautiful feature. The waterfall was not simply a tourist attraction. These natural features influenced almost every part of life. The location of homes, the design of buildings, the paths people used, and the ways goods were transported were all influenced by the geography. This is one of the reasons Furong is so fascinating. The town did not simply appear beside nature. It developed together with nature. As you walk through Furong today, one of the first things you notice is the architecture. Traditional wooden buildings rise along the slopes. Some houses stand above the ground. Others are built close to the cliffs. Narrow stone paths connect different parts of the town. Wooden balconies look out over the river and surrounding mountains. The buildings seem to follow the shape of the land rather than fighting against it. This traditional style is strongly connected with the architecture of the Tujia people. One of the most recognizable forms of Tujia architecture is the wooden stilt house, often known as a diagiala. These houses were designed to work with uneven and mountainous terrain. Instead of requiring large areas of flat land, the structures could be raised and adapted to the slopes. This was a practical solution to the difficult geography. At the same time, it created a unique architectural style. Wooden houses, tiled roofs, stone streets, balconies, mountains, ND flowing water became part of the visual identity of the town. And then there is the feature that makes Furong truly extraordinary: the waterfall. The famous Furong waterfall drops from a cliff beside the ancient town. The waterfall is commonly described as being around 60 meters high and approximately 40 meters wide. During periods of heavy rainfall, the amount of water can increase dramatically. The quiet stream can transform into a powerful wall of rushing water. As the water falls over the cliff, it crashes onto the rocks below and creates clouds of mist. The sound of the waterfall can be heard throughout the surrounding area. Imagine standing in an ancient street and hearing the powerful sound of water in the distance. You continue walking. The sound becomes louder. The buildings begin to open up. And suddenly, the waterfall appears in front of you. Water is falling from the cliff. Mist is floating through the air. The old town is standing beside it. And the mountains rise behind everything. It is a view that looks almost unreal. This is why Farang is sometimes described as a waterfall town or a village beside a waterfall. The waterfall is not far away from the town. It is an essential part of the town itself. Visitors can walk along paths that lead close to the waterfall. Some viewpoints provide a direct view of the falling water. Other locations allow visitors to look across the waterfall toward the old buildings. There are also areas where people can experience the waterfall from behind or beside the falling water. When you stand close to the waterfall, the experience becomes completely different. You can feel the moisture in the air. You can hear the roar of the water. The rocks around you are wet. The mist moves through the air. And the old town seems to disappear and reappear behind the curtain of water. It is one of those places where the sound and atmosphere are just as important as the view. But Farang is much more than a waterfall. The ancient town itself is filled with history. The narrow streets are designed around the natural shape of the mountain. Instead of large modern roads, visitors move through smaller paths and traditional lanes. Some paths lead uphill. Others descend toward the river. Some pass between old wooden buildings. And others lead toward viewpoints overlooking the waterfall. Every turn can reveal something different. A traditional house. A small shop. A wooden balcony. A mountain covered with green vegetation, or the sound of the waterfall appearing again in the distance. This makes walking through Farang feel like exploring a living historical landscape. Unlike a modern city, there are no huge skyscrapers dominating the view. The natural environment remains the most powerful feature. The mountains surround the town. The river moves through the valley. And the waterfall creates a constant connection between the cliffs and the water below. The culture of the Tujia people is another important part of Farang's identity. For generations, the Tujia communities of Western Hunan have maintained traditions that are different from those of China's larger Han majority. Traditional music and dance are important parts of Tujia culture. One well-known example is the Baisho dance, a traditional ceremonial dance associated with the Tujia people. Traditional clothing, festivals, food, songs, and architecture also form part of this cultural heritage. When visitors explore Farang, they are therefore not simply visiting an old town. They are entering a region with a distinctive cultural identity. The buildings tell one story. The mountains tell another. The people and their traditions tell another. And together, these stories create the character of Farang. The natural environment around the town is equally impressive. Western Hunan is known for dramatic mountains, deep valleys, forests, rivers, and waterfalls. The landscape has been shaped by natural forces over enormous periods of time. Rainwater